Hey everyone and welcome back. In today's video we will be discussing about the Elastic Beanstalk CLI. Now till the time being we have been doing lot of things in a GUI way, and if you might have known, if you manage 10, 20, 30 environments through GUI, it will take a lot of time to do things, and this is the reason why AWS also offers us the CLI way, where we can do things much more faster but also in an automated way. So this is the main feature of this topic, and let's go ahead and look into how we can install the EB CLI and understand on how we can create the basic environments with the EB CLI. So let's get started. So I am in my Amazon Linux operating system. So before you can start to work with EB CLI, you need to make sure that you already have pip installed. In case you don't have pip installed, you can run the easy install pip, and this will go ahead and install the pip for you. Now once you have pip installed, the next step that you need to do is you have to install the AWS EB CLI. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'll do a pip install AWS EB CLI. Perfect. So now if you'll see, our EB CLI package is been installed. So as of now, the latest version of EB CLI is version 3.14. Great. So once this is done, you need to go to your project folder. So what do I mean by project folder? Let me quickly show you. So if I do a ls, you'll see that I have a directory called as EB CLI. Now if I go inside this directory, you will find that I have a basic files like index.php, style.css. So this is a basic PHP based files. So if I quickly open up the index.php, you will see that this is somewhat similar to a welcome page which is written based on PHP. So I'll be sharing you these files along with the video so that you can download it as well. Great. So once we have this file, the next thing that we need to do is we have to run the eb init command. So let's run the eb init command. And the first thing that it will ask us is the default region. So I'll select the North Virginia as the default region. I'll press enter. And you see it basically says that the current user does not have a correct permission. So basically what we'll have to do is we'll have to set up our access key and secret key. So it is asking for the AWS access key. Let's do one thing. I'll go to the IAM console and I'll create a new user. I'll name it as EB CLI and I'll give him the programmatic access. For simplicity, I'll assign an administrator access to this user, and I'll go ahead and I'll create the user. So first thing, I'll copy the access key. I'll put it here. And for the secret key, I'll copy the secret key again. And I'll paste it. Perfect. So now once you have pasted the access and secret key, it is basically asking select an application to use. So I already have certain sample applications which are created. So I'll go ahead and I'll select the option 4, which is create a new application. Now basically it is asking for the application name. I'll give it as pat-eb CLI. So now it automatically detected that the code which is present within this directory, it is based on PHP, and it is saying that it appears you are using PHP. Is this correct? And I'll say yes. It will ask for the PHP platform version. I'll just use the default one and I'll press enter. Now whether you want to set up a SSH for the instance, I'll just select no. Because this is a sample app and I don't really want a SSH to the server. Perfect. So now you have done the basic setup related to the EB initialization. And if you do a ls-la, you would see that there is a .elastic beanstalk directory which is created. Now if I do a nano on .elastic beanstalk, there is a file called as config.yml which is created automatically, and within this you would see that it has various parameters that we have set, like application name is EB CLI, The platform is PHP 7.1, the region is US East 1, and various others. However, the environment related configuration is still null. So this is something that we'll have to set next. To do that, I'll do a EB create, and it automatically detected the environment name. Now this, it basically retrieved it from the config.yml that we have created. So since it is saying the default is packed-ebcli-dev, I'll just press enter. The DNS name, I'll just use it as default. Now if you'll see over here, it is basically asking whether we want to have which kind of load balancer, classic, application and network. We don't really need a load balancer per se. So what I'll do, I'll press Ctrl C, and this time I'll run the EB create command again. However, this time we'll pass on the single parameter. So single parameter basically means that the environment that we are creating needs to be in a single EC2 instance based environment, and we don't really need that load balancer related configuration. So I'll use the default prefixes settings, and I'll press enter. So now it is creating the application, and if you'll see, it is actually uploading your code zip to the S3 bucket from which the EB will retrieve it from. So the environment is now been created. You can safely do a Ctrl C if you do not really need the logs. Now if you would see that all of these things are very correlated with the GUI, where even in the GUI, whenever you create a Elastic Beanstalk environment, you would actually see the real-time status on what exactly is happening. So we'll leave it as it is, and let's just wait for a few minutes for the Elastic Beanstalk to create its environment and application. Perfect. So now our environment is successfully launched. So in order to double confirm if everything is working as expected, let's go to the EB console from the AWS and see whether our environment is being shown there. So this is the Elastic Beanstalk console, and if you'll see, you have a packed-ebcli environment which is created. So if I'll quickly click on this specific environment, it will basically show us the URL. If I'll click on this URL, you should see the basic index.php page up and running. So this is how you can actually create an environment with the help of EBCLI. Now one thing that you have noticed that doing things via EBCLI is much more easier because otherwise you have to do point and click, which is definitely easy for the first time, but whenever you are working with larger scale environment, this is not a very ideal approach to work upon. Now once you have EBCLI installed and you have created a basic environment, there are certain commands that you can run. If you just press EB, it will basically give you all the commands that are being supported. So let's run certain command. I'll do a EB status, and it will basically give me various information related to the URL of the environment. So this is basically the URL that you will find over here. And along with that, it gives us the basic parameters like region, platform, when it was last updated, what is the health check associated with the Elastic Beanstalk. Another command that you can run is the EB logs, because typically to fetch the logs, people go via GUI. However, if you run EB logs, it will automatically retrieve all the logs and it will show you within the command line. So these are all the logs related to the Elastic Beanstalk. So this is the basic about EBCLI and how you can automate things via this specific command. Now the last thing that I wanted to show you before we conclude this lecture is EB terminate. Now since we have already created the environment, let's go ahead and terminate it so that we don't get charged for that. So I'll just put in the EB environment name, and it will go ahead and terminate the environment for us. And from the console itself also, if you'll see, the environment is getting updated, and in few minutes the environment will get terminated. So this is it about today's video. I hope you understood the basics about what EBCLI and its true power. In the next video, we will be discussing about the Elastic Beanstalk's web versus worker environments.